At the end of the Spanish-American War, the United States also had to figure out what to do with islands it had taken from Spain. The United States retained Puerto Rico and Guam, but Americans had no intention of annexing Cuba.
When the U.S. forces left, they left behind something called the Platt Amendment that the Cubans had to adopt into their constitution by force. The U.S. obliged them to do it, or the troops wouldn't have left. That clause gave the United States the right to intervene in Cuban affairs. So on the one hand, Cuba is an independent country, but it really isn't fully, because here's this clause in its constitution.
By the mid-1920s, the Americans controlled the Cuban economy and owned 2/3 of all Cuba's sugar plantations, an arrangement enforced when necessary by U.S. troops.
We went down to Cuba, for example, and eastern Cuba found a tremendous resource of iron ore that could be shipped very cheaply up to the United States and used for the further production of steel. We found copper in Chile. We found other mineral resources in other areas and brought them into the United States. So we were looking not just for markets to sell our goods in, but we were looking also for markets so that we could buy raw materials, bring them to our manufacturing centers, and produce more and more of the goods we were producing.